Begin on your back on your yoga mat. Bend your legs, press into your feet to tilt your pelvis back so the low back is glued into the mat. Take a couple deep breaths just to ground yourself and clear your head. On your next inhale, lift your legs and hug your knees into your chest. If it feels really good, you can lift your head up and grab opposite elbows and then bring your head down. As you exhale, try to lengthen your tailbone down towards the mat. Make sure the back of your neck is really long. Take a deep breath in and exhale fully. On your next inhale, bring the hands to the knees and rock side to side, just to warm up the back and release any tension from the low back. As you inhale, come to stillness, extend your legs, reach up and grab wherever you can, and as you exhale, lift your head towards your knees and release. Hug the right knee into the chest, extend the left leg. Lift the head if that feels good. And repeat on the other side. On the next inhale, release, bring your head down. Extend your legs up overhead, spread the toes, and push out of the bottoms of the feet as you slowly lower the legs down. As you inhale, we'll begin our first core strengthening exercise. Bend the knees. Low back is pressed into the mat as you push out of the bottoms of the feet and slowly lower the legs down and lift them up. So we're using our lower abdominals here. And this is the modified version. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can lift your head and lift your arms as well. Whatever you do, you really want to think about having the low back glued to the mat. Toes are spread, big toe mounds are pressing, inner thighs are hugging. Make your movements slow and controlled. And use your breath rather than the momentum of the legs. Release and come down. Interlace your fingers behind your head. As you exhale, lift the head. And we're going to think about making a circle using the back of your head. So you're lifting up to the right, going across the body and lowering down. Then lifting up to the left, going across the body and lowering down. So you'll really start to feel it in the middle of your core. Keep your feet evenly pushing into the mat so your low back is glued to the mat. As you come up on the right, go across the body and come down on the left. Then come up on the left, go across the body and go down on your right. On the next inhale, extend your arms. Exhale and lift the shoulder blades off the mat. And then shimmy side to side using your core strength so you get your fingers touching your ankles. Keep pushing into your feet so that the low back is pressed into the mat and release. On the next inhale, extend the left leg. Take the left hand to the top of the right shin and then switch. Right hand to the top of the left shin and switch. So if you need a break here, you can bring your head down. But if you want more of a challenge, you can lift your head, try to lift your shoulder blades off the mat, and keep pressing the low back into the mat. Toes are spread, really pressing out of the bottoms of the feet, getting one long line as each leg extends. Exhale and release. Extend the arms overhead, extend the legs away from you, just stretching out the abdominals. From here we move on to my personal favorite. So we'll bend the legs and push the feet into the mat so the low back is glued. Then lift the legs overhead, spread the toes, and as you inhale, open up the legs to touch the big toe mounds at the bottom, and exhale, lift. So Exhale, lift. Inhale, touch. Exhale, lift. Inhale, touch. Move slow and steady and keep thinking about pushing out of the bottoms of the feet, keeping the legs long, using your core strength to lift the weight of your legs. And release. Bend your legs. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lift the legs and then rock yourself back and forth. So we're going to do this a couple times. Feel free to use the momentum of your legs here. We're just warming up the spine, preparing the body for the rest of the practice. Come to stillness. Remove the flesh underneath your sits bones. Draw your shoulder blades toward each other. Extend your arms. Spread your fingers. And then come to balance on your sits bones. So maybe your shins are parallel to the floor. Or maybe you need a little bit more of a challenge and you want to extend the legs. Whatever you do, think about the chest staying broad, lifted, and using your core strength to lift your legs. Exhale, release. We'll come into Baddha Konasana. So the bottoms of the feet are touching. Take your thumbs to the arches and then open up the feet like a book as you come forward with the upper body. Breathe into any areas of tension. And with each exhale, come further to the ground. As you inhale, release the pose. Gently bring the knees together and come onto all fours. So we want the wrists, elbows, and shoulders in one long line. Big toe mounds pressing into the mat. Knees are hip distance and directly underneath the hips. As you inhale, lift the head and the tailbone to feel a nice stretch across the abdominals. As you exhale, push the mat away from you, round your back, lower chin to chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press the mat away, round. Feel free to pause anywhere you need to. If you need a little bit longer in cat or a little bit longer in cow, just feel free to take that. As you exhale, push the mat away from you. As you inhale, come to a flat back, and then walk your feet back for plank pose. So continuing our focus on the core, wrists, elbows, and shoulders in one line. Lift the butt a little bit and really use your core. Inhale, lift the right leg, spread the right toes, three-legged plank. Exhale and release. Inhale, lift the other side. Spread the left toes and release, coming into downward facing dog. So first one of the day, be really gentle on yourself. Don't worry if the heels don't come down to the ground. Just picture your body as an upside down letter V and keep intending for the heels to come down. As you inhale, lift the right leg, spread the right toes. As you exhale, shoulders over wrists, touch your right knee to right tricep, and inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to left tricep, inhale, three-legged dog. Come forward again, knee to right tricep, lift, three-legged dog. Last time, knee to left tricep, lift, three-legged dog. Inhale, step the foot to the front of the mat. Clarify your foundation and rise up for high lunge, breathing into the left hip flexor. As you inhale, open up for warrior two. So the outer edge of the left foot is parallel with the short edge of the mat, and the right knee is directly over the ankle, or slightly behind. As you inhale, come forward and take the left arm up overhead, using your obliques and your core strength to keep you lifted, and then release and step back to plank pose. Inhale, chaturanga. Exhale, up dog. Inhale, downward facing dog. So taking a couple deep breaths here, picturing the body as an upside down letter V. Maybe just noticing how this downward dog feels different from the very first one you did. And as you inhale, lift the left leg, spread the left toes. Come forward, bring the knee to the left tricep and lift up. Come forward, bring the knee to the right tricep, three-legged dog. One more time each side. Knee comes to left tricep, lift up. Knee comes to right tricep, lift up. On the next inhale, step your foot to the front of the mat for high lunge. Really press out of the bottom of the right foot. Right leg is long, left knee directly over the ankle or slightly behind, and you're breathing into the right hip flexor. As you inhale, open up, warrior two. Outer edge of the right foot is parallel with the short edge of the mat. Sit really low and watch the front knee, directly over the ankle or slightly behind. When you're ready, come forward, and then bring the right arm up and overhead using your obliques, your core strength to keep your upper body lifted. Release to warrior two and windmill the arms down, taking plank into chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Take a deep breath in and out. No tension in the neck. Continue to push the mat away from you and spin the inner thighs to the sky. As you inhale, rise onto the toes. Use your core strength to hop forward. Exhale, forward fold, chin to shins. Inhale, rise all the way up with a flat back. Exhale, hands to the heart, Tadasana, mountain pose. Now you can stay here, which is a little bit more challenging, or you can bring your hands to your hips. And as you inhale, send your hips forward, lean back, long spine. Let your head go if that's okay for you. Little micro bend in the knees, and release. Inhale, arms out in front. Exhale, plug the arms into the torso. Rise onto the toes. Activate the core. And we'll lower down, going slower than you want to go, maintaining control. And as soon as you get all the way down, lift all the way back up. Release into Tadasana and lift the left leg. Try not to lean back. Be very tall here. Activate the left toes. Inhale, come forward, warrior three. Spin the inner left thigh towards the sky so the left toes are pointed straight down to the ground, back is long. And then slowly step back with control, high lunge. As you inhale, lift the arms. Bring the chest forward for a little back bend here, breathing into the abdominals. As you inhale, come forward, hands come down. Lift the front leg, bring the knee to the forehead, hold. Exhale, three-legged dog. From here, come forward so the shoulders are over the wrists. Take plank pose. Roll onto the knife edge of the right foot and lift the left arm. Option to lift the left leg as well for a little bit more of a challenge. Keep pushing the mat away from you. Hips stay lifted. Use your core strength. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. As you inhale, rise onto the toes, bend the knees and use your core strength to hop forward. Halfway lift and exhale, forward fold, chin to shins. Inhale, rise all the way up, Tadasana, mountain pose. Hands to the heart. Use your core strength and stay really tall as you lift the right leg, spread the right toes. Press the right foot back behind you, warrior three. Spin the inner right thigh up towards the sky, toes pointed down towards the mat, back is long. Bend the left knee and step back with control, high lunge. As you inhale, lift the arms, bring the chest slightly forward, long spine, mini back bend. Inhale, hands come down. Lift the front leg, knee in towards the forehead, and hold. As you inhale, three-legged dog, spread the toes. On your next inhale, Bring shoulders over wrists. Take plank pose and roll onto the knife edge of the left foot. Lift the right arm. Press the mat away from you. Option to lift the top leg. So for here, you really want to push the mat away so your left shoulder is not directly over your arm. It's slightly behind, and that way you can get a little bit more space. Come back to plank and we'll meet in chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. As you inhale, rise onto the toes, bend the knees. Use your core strength to hop forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up with a flat back, feet together, legs together, Utkatasana chair pose, long spine, no arching in your back. As you inhale, hands to the heart, lift the right leg. Exhale, set the right foot down, sit really low, lift the left foot, spread the left toes. Set the left foot down, Utkatasana chair pose. As you inhale, bring the hands down to the ground. We're going to take crow pose. So you want to lift your knees as high as you can towards your armpits. Look ahead. That's my biggest tip. Don't look straight down. Look about 3 feet in front of you. And maybe one foot lifts, maybe the other foot. If you feel really great here, you can jump back or come down and meet us in upward facing dog. As you exhale, downward facing dog. On the next inhale, come onto the toes. And then send your hips even higher to the sky by pressing the mat away from you. Then round forward, so rippling through your spine until your shoulders are over your wrists for plank pose. Come down onto your forearms, elbows directly underneath your shoulders, butt slightly lifted. As you inhale, lift the right leg. Keep pressing the mat away from you as you cross the right foot over the left. Inhale, release. Exhale, come down. Taking it to the other side, left leg lifts. Cross when you're ready. Lift again and release. Lift your hips and walk forward for dolphin pose. Continue to press the mat away. On the next inhale, walk back out. Plank pose on the forearms. And release into child's pose. Take one deep breath here. And as you exhale, round your upper back so you're seated on your shins if that's okay for you. Otherwise, just sit down normally with your legs crossed. Inhale, interlace the fingers behind you. Exhale, puff the chest forward, let the head go back if that's okay for your neck. As you inhale, release. We're going to come into headstand here. So come down, elbows directly underneath the shoulders, and then grab opposite elbows. You really want to make sure you can grab the outside edges of the arms. Interlace your fingers, keeping your elbows just like that. Then we need to find the place on our head where it will go on the mat. So take your right hand, bring it to the forehead, and bring your fingers down, and wherever your middle finger ends, that's the part of your head you want on the mat. Bring the head down, cradle your head in your hands, and then watch my shoulders now. See how they're drooped there? You don't want that. You want to engage as they are now. So engage and then lift, and then walk, walk, walk until your pelvis is over your head. When your pelvis is over your head, lift one leg or maybe lift both at the same time. It's a little more challenging. Keep pressing your feet up to the sky, spreading the toes, hugging the inner thighs together. Use your core strength. Continue to press through your forearms using your upper body strength. Come straight down, or if you want a little bit more of a challenge, come halfway and then lift your legs back up using your core strength. Use your breath, move slowly, and keep checking in with those shoulders. You really want to engage the shoulder girdle, push the mat away from you, using your core strength, using your upper body strength, and then slowly lower all the way down and take child's pose immediately. These inversions can be tough if we come right up out of them. We could get dizzy, and we don't want that. So just always come right into child's pose after an inversion like this. From here, we're going to do a little bit of arm balancing. The first one we're going to do is baby grasshopper, which I just posted on my blog. I'll put a link down in the description of this video if you're watching on YouTube, so you can give that a try if you're not familiar with it. First, we'll start with staff pose. So sit really tall, legs extended out in front of you. Press your hands into the mat if they reach. This doesn't look very difficult, but it is challenging for the core. And then from here, we'll come into baby grasshopper. So bend the right leg and cross the right foot over the left thigh. Bring your left hand down in line with your hip and then move it out to the left. Take your right arm in front of your right shin and grab hold of the left shin or the inside of the left foot, depending on your flexibility. Then press into your foot, press into your hand, and lift. Use your abdominals to lift your hips. Press out of the bottom of the foot. Draw shoulder blades toward one another. And release when you're ready. We'll take it to the other side, so extend both legs. Bend the left leg and cross it over the right thigh. The toes point away from you. Bring your hand in line with your hip and out to the right. And then bring your left arm in front of your left shin and grab hold of the right shin or the inside arch of the right foot. Use your core strength to lift your hips. Press into that left foot, into the right hand, and when you're ready, release. We'll do a little hip opener here to prepare for the next one. So we're going to spread the feet mat distance apart, and then bring the hands into the middle, and then rock side to side until you get your arms underneath your knees. So I'll turn to the side so you can see what it looks like. Feet are slightly wider than the mat. And then shimmy side to side until your arms come underneath. So this can be really uncomfortable. Just breathe. Identify whether or not it's just discomfort because you're tight or you're actually hurting yourself. And really try to avoid that. We don't want that at all. When you're ready, release. Interlace the fingers and bring them underneath the right foot. Keep the chest lifted and then press the leg, maybe back into the armpit, maybe even past the armpit. Then extend the leg, pressing out of the bottom of the foot. Keep your chest lifted, your back long, shoulder blades drawn toward each other. And then we'll bring the right hand in between your left arm and the foot. Bring the knee as high as you can above the elbow. And then bring the hand down to the ground. We're coming into Ashtavakasana 8-angle pose. Left hand comes down onto the mat. Cross your left foot over your right. And then use your core strength to lift your hips and come forward with your chest. Press out of the bottoms of the feet, squeeze the legs together, and release. I have a YouTube video showing modifications for this with 2 yoga blocks, and I'll put that down below as well. Taking it to the other side, interlacing the fingers and bringing the hands underneath the left foot. Extend the leg. And then we'll come right into it. So bring the left hand in between the right arm and the leg. And then shift that leg as high above your elbow as you can. I'm going to do it from the front this time so you can see better. Bring the hand down into the mat. And then cross your right foot over your left foot. Use your abdominal strength. your upper body strength to lift you up. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Draw your shoulder blades toward one another. Press out of the bottoms of the feet. And release when you're ready. From here, we're going to do a couple supine positions, and then the practice will end. So extend your legs, bring your arms out in front, and slowly come all the way down to the ground. When you come all the way down, use your core strength to lift your right leg and hug it into your chest. Take the left hand to the knee and pull the knee up and over the body for supine spinal twist. Turn your right palm up to the sky, maybe even cactus the arm if that feels really good. And with each exhale, try to get the knee and the shoulder down to the mat. With each exhale, let go of any tension you're holding on to. When you're ready, come back to center. Hug the knee in one last time, and then release. Taking it to the other side, lift the left knee to the chest. Spine really long. Try to get the tailbone down to the mat. Grab hold of the knee with the right hand and pull the knee up and over the body for supine spinal twist on the other side. With these slower poses, try to focus on your exhale. With each exhale, be really mindful and exhale fully so there's no more air in the body. Look out over your left shoulder here, and then when you're ready, come back to center. Hug the knee one last time and then release. As you inhale, bend the legs, bring the feet together, and open up the knees for Supta Baddha Konasana. So the low back is really pushed into the mat. Let your arms come out to the side, palms facing up, and close your eyes. Take a deep breath here. Inhale. Exhale. And from here, we're going to come into fish pose. So ladies, if you have your hair up, I would suggest taking it down. You want to come to the top of your head and then use your abdominal strength to extend the legs, press the feet together, hug the inner thighs, and interlace the fingers, releasing the index and the thumb. When you're ready, release the pose, and we'll come right into Shavasana. Feet are mat distance apart, arms away from the body, palms facing up. Tuck your chin a little bit for a long neck. Close your eyes and just stay here for at least 5 minutes, letting your body absorb all the good things you just did. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe and share with your friends.